Okay, this is a rather simple 1,000-gallon gravity feed water tank, and a friend of mine asked me to show you how we did it. And it's pretty simple, a whole bunch of simple steps, doesn't require anything fancy to do, but I'll just show you anyway. Basically, we've got a 1,000-gallon polyethylene water tank for potable water, 5 feet in diameter, 8 feet tall. And it's sitting on a pad made of 3 railroad ties, and one side of the pad is just held by the bank, and it's filled with pea gravel. This is gravel that does not have sharp edges. This has been here like this for about 20 years. And what we're doing now is adding a second tank. So I'm just clearing a little pad here, and I'm going to use my railroad ties again, set them down, get the right dimensions, and then bring pea gravel up here. So you don't need any fancy tools to do this. Here's all the tools I have. I have a flat blade shovel like you use for cement, and I have an ordinary shovel. I have a pick. I have a bar, which I probably won't need except to move the railroad ties, and I have a rake. Now our land here has several inches of leaf litter, leaf mold that's fallen out of the redwood trees and stuff. And I rake that back, and then I took my shovel and just scraped the surface until I get down to this hard clay, which is what we have for soil here underneath. I just want a solid bed under the pea gravel. It won't compress a lot, so I'm getting rid of this friable material that water will pass through easily and just get into something solid. So I'm not really doing any digging. I dug just a little bit out of the hillside here. Really all I'm doing is clearing down to the existing land. Now this has been graded in the past, so you do need a reasonably flat place to put your pad. This tank, empty, weighs 168 pounds. So I brought it up lying in the bed of a pickup truck like this. But if you put straps around it, 4 people can pick it up, carry it horizontally. Each person's carrying a 42-pound load, which ain't big, and you can drag it up through the woods if you don't have a nice little road like this. So anyway, this is a basic thing. The thing is a 5-foot circle, so I'm going to have nominal about 6 feet or so. So I have 6 feet, 6 inches to a foot of gravel around the edges of it. Okay, I'm just going to start working at this. I'll run this at speed it up when I upload the video, but you can just watch.
Sit down and take a rest. Okay, now we're going to take a look at this, and you can see that this, okay, now you can perhaps see that this is not completely level. Now you can see it. It tilts to the left. But does it matter? I think the answer is not very damn much. Because what we're going to do is build this box out of railroad ties. And by the way, they just sit on the ground. There's no stakes or anything. And we're going to fill it with pea gravel, and we're going to level the pea gravel. Now you can look over here at this one that's been in here for 20 years. And I think maybe you can see that it is now tilting downhill a little bit. And I think that's because either we didn't level the pea gravel well, or the pea gravel may have migrated under the weight of the tank. But the pea gravel hasn't pushed its way out of the boundaries of the railroad ties, so it can't have moved very much. The tank may just have settled. 1,000 gallons, I believe water is 12.5 pounds a gallon, 12,500 pounds concentrated on a 5-foot circle is a lot of weight. So I think it behooves you to level your pea gravel as much as you can. What we've got on this site here is a flat undersurface that won't compress, with no roots sticking up out of it. And I think that's going to be good enough for our purposes. I'm 74 years old. I'm not in good health. And if I can do this, then you can do it, your wife can do it, your teenage kids can do it. Okay, I want to have about a 6-foot wide pad. So I've got a foot on either side if I can get it. And like that was even more. But that's what we're going to aim for. Kind of a minimum of 6 feet. That's 5 feet there. So that's got to come out another foot. Let's see how far down do we have to go.
6 feet there. So that's pretty much what we got. And oops, you can see the details. So what we're going to do is cut a piece with the chainsaw to fit in between the bank and here. And get that cut and put in there. That's be it. We can put the gravel in. Okay, we've got the railroad tie marked for cutting. Going to move it over here and prop it up on the existing ties and cut it. So there it is, set up to cut. We'll bring the chainsaw up here, charge the camera, and we'll cut it and put it in place. Okay, we've got our railroad tie set up here to trim. I got it marked. This is the crudest kind of carpentry in the world. You can use any kind of saw you want to cut this thing. You can do it with a hand saw, you can do it with a skill saw, you can do it with the Sawzall. I'm going to do it with a chainsaw because that's easy to do up here. Well, obviously that wasn't very complicated. So now all we got to do is make this thing fit in the slot over there, and we should be groovy. Find my little mark over here. Find it. High accuracy operation we got going here. Okay, that end's the treated end. It's going to be up right up against the dirt, so we'll put the cut end over here. And that'll be that. High accuracy operation we got going on here. Now, I have about 6 feet inside here. That's actually 6 feet 2 inches. Oh. I think that's good enough. for who it's for. And basically there we have it. I guess I'll put that thing down on its side. It's not supposed to be like that. Here's about the midpoint. We've got just 6 feet, what we want. There's the midpoint there. Over 6 feet. So we're very good. So that's all it's going to take. It isn't symmetrical. We knew it wasn't going to be, and it doesn't matter. The point is that it's going to have all the dimensions we want, at least 6 inches around the perimeter of the thing, and level enough. Going to be solid. We'll fill it full of pea gravel, and it will be good. Okay, because we did the same thing here we did with the other ones. We used the bank as one side of the box, which proved to be perfectly acceptable. It's worked fine for 20 years. It's going to work fine here as well. So there's another look at it from the other side.